We all look at ourselves in the mirror, and often you ask me, are you big? And I'm not talking about his penis.
Because we all know.
Because we all know it's big.
I've only seen it in a rearview mirror, so I can't trust what I saw proportionally. But it was enormous.
Hey guys, welcome to Identity Crisis, a new podcast hosted by WWE Legend CJ Perry and Hollywood producer Jonathan Saba. Here we separate the person from the persona, the shtick from the clicks, and get to unfiltered conversations about perception, reinvention, and some unlicensed intervention hosted by two professional fakers who made a living playing the part. Machka Crush. Guys, get ready. We're on for a wild identity crisis ride.
So your career, you've primarily been a performer. And specifically in the world of professional wrestling, you've had to create an identity. And there's a lot of blurring between the line of that character you create on screen and who you are in real life. And what we're going to attempt to do is strip away those facades and find out who we really are, or who are you really?
Yes, who is behind the identity that we see on screen and that we put out to the world? I've gone through a couple identity crises myself, so I know all about it.
You're going through one right now, no?
Probably.
Who are we going to interview today on this, our inaugural Identity Crisis show?
Stepping into the podcast today, you're about to witness the greatest physical specimen in WWE history. He is a man who crushes anyone who dares steps into his path. And he has a dog named Pickles. He is a multi-time champion so dominant that if any American hero steps in his path, he simply crushes them. He hails from a land of warriors and savages. He is the heart of Bulgaria. He fights for honor, glory, and for himself. He is the one true hero, and he is the one and only super athlete, Rusev! I mean, Miro! Please welcome my loving husband, Miro.
You know, I noticed when you said a real man, it's a little triggering for me. Because one of the first times we hung out, the three of us, if you remember,
Oh, this was great.
I flew to Nashville, both for SummerSlam and Ric Flair's last match. And at some point you were a little nervous to go to SummerSlam because you had been out of the WWE for a while.
Yes.
And we were
A year.
we were going to be amongst the audience. And you said, I'm a little nervous. You know, I need a little protection. I need a man with me to protect me. And Miro very graciously said, well, you're going to be with Johnny. And do you remember what your response was?
Of course. I mean, you say it.
Oh, you want me to say it? You want me to further humiliation? Okay, you said, no, I need a real man.
You know.
So, ladies and gentlemen, a real man.
Here I am.
Here he is. Here he is.
But yes, here I am.
Let me just gaze upon you for a second. Look at that outfit.
Gaze.
Did you pick that out?
No, CJ did. And thank you for bringing that up because you knew that CJ bought this.
What is it LuluLemon?
The LuluLemon.
Why when I buy LuluLemon, I look like a fourth grade school teacher and you wear it and you look like you're on a runway?
Because I fill it up.
Because you fill it up. He looks at me, he bounces his pecs and he says, because I fill it up. I've never been more certain of anything.
Yeah. Yeah, but thank you. Thank you for noticing my outfit. And I brought Pickles. Say hello, Pickles.
This is a pretty monumental event here to have the two of you on camera together because I hate to just start off with it, but we know you had a very, very public split, which I read about in TMZ. Thank you very much. My good friends didn't even tell me. And you had a very, what I presume to be private reconciliation. And now here we are.
It's not on TMZ.
This is not on TMZ. This is an Identity Crisis exclusive.
I think it was on TMZ.
Look at the two of you.
Or Sarah.
You know, it's like when I look at the both of you, I can't even envision a world where you're not together. It's like living in a world where the Beatles never existed.
Man.
It's just like
But
they're
is
forever.
Paul McCartney real Paul McCartney, though?
Oh, you think you want to already get into this conspiracy theories?
I don't know. You started it.
You know, with so many conspiracy theories in the world right now, I want to go back to the OGs.
But does it really even matter, though? Because this Paul McCartney is freaking amazing.
I saw something on Instagram the other day, a reel that showed what appeared to be an older John Lennon in the background of a Paul McCartney shot. And I haven't verified whether it's true, but
Get out of here.
I believe anything now. Anything I
Why
see
would
now,
John Lennon fake his own? He's not Tupac.
and anything I see now, I have to second guess. If you told me tomorrow there was no such thing as space, I might believe you.
Well, because all the AI that you love that you use all the time, and now they're making all these fake videos, and you don't know what's true or what's not.
It's very like when I saw you, for instance. Even when you walked in person, I'm like, is that AI? Is that a real person?
Right? Because look at this carve. Like, look at this broad. Oh, I hit it now. The deal. Look at the broad shoulders. You know, the semi-small waist.
Oh, CJ's here. By the way, CJ,
legs.
this is CJ's show. Sorry, I can talk to Miro forever. CJ, what?
Sorry, I was yawning. What were you guys talking about?
Let me
You
ask
were
you.
yawning.
I was getting oxygen to my brain. You see?
Oh boy, CJ is all about the oxygen in the brain these days. And,
Yeah.
And early morning pool dips, skinny cold dips.
I do
And
love that.
what else do you do?
I do cold showers.
She does cold showers. She does.
I take shrooms that are not psychedelic shrooms, but for your
just normal
brain
shrooms.
to make you like yawn to get more
She
oxygen to your
takes
brain.
ashwagandha.
And then my testosterone went up high.
Really?
Yeah.
She's got almost testosterone as I do.
How much? What's your number?
I don't know. I'm waiting for mine. But hers is big.
Mine was like 980. Is that good?
No,
It was 980. What, you think I'm lying? Ask CJ. I showed her. You saw my testosterone.
You did. Yeah, you sent me a screenshot. I
then you
laughed.
definitely need to start eating them.
I was talking to CJ at some point, just literally out of nowhere. She's like, "What's your testosterone?" I'm like, "I don't even know." I had to Google. I had to search my email, and it turns out it's 980.
Is this because you put in Google? You put what is the highest normal level?
Listen,
and it was
this is
980.
first of all, I have a very fancy doctor. This is a verified testosterone test. He was even stunned by it, really. And he used to be the Raiders doctor. He said he never saw anything like
I
it.
never know
He
when to
might have
believe
signed
Johnny
you
or
for the
not.
Raiders.
Wait, you're saying that because you guys obviously are health and fitness experts to a degree, right? I mean, you guys have trained
work
your
out.
bodies more. You're in a lot of ways you're entertainers, but you're really professional athletes,
You have
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Yeah.
And so, how much of nutrition and optimizing what you're eating and how you're exercising, how much do you track that?
me or her
Both of you.
is
Oh, sorry.
no? I guess you go.
No, you go. I was going to say what is not measurable is not manageable.
Do you measure?
I was just quoting a famous person.
Oh, it's not like you're doing it. You're just saying it.
I know, because I was never mind, I was telling myself I don't measure my food and I need to do that.
I do measure everything. Well, I used to measure everything, from from breakfast to meals to drinks to everything. I used to measure, but I think everybody should if you want to kind of get in a better shape or just trying to revisit how you look, because you don't know what to fix unless you know what's broken, right? And you think, oh, I don't need much. I just eat a little bit of this, a little bit of this. But then you add all the snacks and all the stuff that you eat in between. And it becomes just excessive amount of food. So I always had a weird relationship with food. Not relationship, but kind of like I didn't know what to eat. So in WWE, when I first started, I was in one shape. But then when you get on the road, and you don't train as much. It's not like you're in the PC when you're busting your ass like 4 or 5 hours a day. Like I gained all that weight, I didn't know what to do. And CJ was like, "You have to do cardio." I'm like,
Real story.
cardio.
Yeah,
I have
literally.
matches I have 5 matches a week.
Right. I mean, that's a lot of cardio in the ring.
Yeah, that's
This
5
is
nights
different.
a week. 20-minute matches. That's still enough cardio. And
Literally reacted like that, by the
yeah.
way. Just laughed in my face.
Although I do remember that time we worked out in Nashville and we started with cardio. And I was like, what do we do? And we're like, oh, yeah, we walk on like 75% incline for 4 hours. And I'm like, it's this workout.
No, well, things
It's
change
lovely.
throughout the years. You get to learn about more and more. But yeah, anyways, food is very important. If you got to follow your diet and you got to see what's working with
Do you do cardio now?
I do cardio every morning. Every morning I wake up, I go do cardio 40 minutes. I do abs. I do 20-minute stretch every morning.
Stretches.
Then I go home. And then later on in the afternoon, I'll go work out again.
I'm curious, like a guy that I look at you and I'm like, if I looked like that, I would walk through the world so differently. But do you being on camera so much and being so focused on how you look physically, does that create any body insecurity? Do you ever have insecurity about your body?
Any business that you have to out there and you go and expose yourself and put yourself out there, I think you have to be. I mean, even when I grew up, I was watching like Arnold and Stallone. All these guys were jacked, watching professional wrestling. In the movies that you grew up with, watching all the action heroes back then, they did not look like the action heroes now. I mean, now they're picking up back with the muscles and stuff like that. So for me, it was always really important to look like an athlete. And, throughout the years, I was doing all kinds of martial arts and rowing and basketball. So physics, being athletic has always been part of me. But you have to, in my opinion, like I have to look good because I want to go out there and I want to look at myself and I want to be proud of how I look. I don't want to be like, oh man, like, you know, when you start pinpointing different things and nitpicking, like, of course, you're, oh, I'm fat here, I'm fat there, blah, blah, blah. But to me, it's really important my physical ability.
When you know, obviously people watching know this, but you had a very public return to the WWE after a hiatus. And I've noticed the commentary section lately, and you and I were talking about this, they're really putting over your physique, your new physique, because you really do look the best you've ever looked. I know you're 32 years old, and oftentimes when you turn 32, it starts to go downhill. Trust me, I'm going to be there next year. And but whatever you're doing is working.
21,
you're taking
so I don't know.
It's about, again, trial and error. I've been trying for years to get in shape. You know, it's nothing that, oh, I just decided now before my comeback. And in AEW, you know, things were getting, you know, starting to click a little bit. But I found a coach, I found a trainer who wrote me a program, who wrote me like an actual diet. And not just, oh, you got to eat this, this, and this, but kind of like explain to me the calories, the intake, the output, and all that, and what makes sense, what didn't make sense. And from then, you just got to try and see what works for you, because what works for me doesn't mean it's going to work for you.
Body image doesn't just affect women, but it also affects men. Miro often, you know, we all look at it ourselves in the mirror, and that's to see how our body's doing. And often you ask me, are you big? And I'm not talking about his penis.
Because we all know.
Because we all know it's big.
I've only seen it in a rearview mirror, so I can't trust what I saw proportionally. But it was enormous.
You know?
So, anyways, Miro would often, you don't see yourself as huge muscles. You know, you're a big boy with huge muscles. I mean, you were born at 15 pounds. That is not an exaggeration. His mother gave birth to him for 3 days. 15 pounds he came out. Thank God he's a professional wrestler. But, you know, you are a huge man. Like, you're just a god of muscles. And you really, when you look in the mirror, do you not see like just this beautiful statue of muscle?
No, you always want more. You always want better. You always want to improve certain things. And I think that's what pushes some people to be better than others. You know, I can't even imagine looking myself in the mirror like, oh man, you look freaking great, bro. Why would you even go to the gym? I never even imagined that. Like, it's always like, oh, this little bit, maybe a little bit of here, maybe a little bit of here. Okay, if I do cardio, you know, extra for this long and this long, maybe this will help. That's always been the process. It's never like being happy with the final product. Even when I have a match and I have a fantastic match and I watch it back, I'll be like, oh, I could have, you know, this could have been this could have been this. And I think you doing movies is the same thing. I'm pretty sure. Doesn't matter what kind of masterpiece you put out there, you still feel like, oh, this could have been it, this could have been. And that makes you better, I think, because next time you know what to watch for. Okay, last time this could have been better. Okay, now I can apply it into this movie. That's how I look at things. And that's how I'm never satisfied with the final product. I just want more and more and more and more.
I'm like, wow, Miro, you're so big, you're so muscular, you're so great. And you were like, no, it's not good enough. It's not good enough. And I was like, maybe you have a little bit of a body dysmorphia. And you came home that night and we learned a new word. And I just brought it up because I thought this was fascinating, especially being a woman that has in her teens struggled with anorexia and bulimia. There's this thing called Bigorexia. And it's the reverse anorexia. Muscle dysmorphia is a specific type of body dysmorphic disorder in which a person becomes preoccupied with the idea that their body is built too small or not muscular enough.
Well, when we looked at it, that says it was something in the 80s. That's what the term was born, bigorexia. I don't think I have a bigorexia. I just want to get better. It's not about me finding a size. Like, I used to be 320 pounds. Then I went to 300, then 290, 280. I went down to 230. And I mean, 230. I was probably, the last time I was 230 was when I was probably in 10th grade. Oh. But yeah, besides the 2019. Yeah. So I wouldn't say I just want to look I just want to look good. I want to look myself in the mirror and be good. Be good. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's not about a size. It's about a look that you have in your head, and you want to see that in front. Like, it's not that complicated.
Do you are you okay with sharing the story about in 2019 when you lost a bunch of weight and then we had a meeting with Vince, and what did he say to you about your new look of being
did he
260?
say he wanted the big Bulgarian?
Yeah.
He wanted a 300-pound guy?
Yeah, I remember him saying to you, he was like, where's my 300? I don't know why immediately I want to go into Russian accent. Where is my 300-pound Bulgarian brute? But he really did go. He goes, I want my 300-pound Bulgarian brute. That man puts asses in seats. That heel. He goes, I want you as a heel. I want you 300-pound Bulgarian brute because that sells tickets. And what did you say to him?
What is it?
You said, turn me heel, brother.
Oh, well, that's what I said.
You said, I'm the best heel in the business. Turn me heel.
That's what I said, I guess.
I'll never forget this. Vince was like, I have so many baby faces, but I don't have any 300-pound Bulgarian brutes. And it's just like what he was saying is like that in this world, Eastern Europeans and Russians are conditioned to be the bad guys. And you have I know you have studied all the greatest bad guys and villains in TV and movies, and you had really perfected that. And that was kind of like in my opinion, his back way of complimenting, saying you're the best at being a villain.
He called me in the office before the Goldberg thing. Say, hey, do this favor for me. I'm going to owe you one. And then he said, oh, what do you think about turning babyface? I'm like, Vince, if you're behind it, I'm behind it because I know it's going to work. So he's asked me to be babyface before, but then he's asked me to be a heel again after. And that's what I'm saying. It's all these mixed messages with nothing in between.
How do you feel that defined your identity?
Well, you learn a lot, of course. You learn so much being in WWE, of course. Like, there's no other job like being in WWE, especially I could say back in the day, because when we first started compared to now, it's completely different. We used to be on the road 5 days a week and these tours, like 2 weeks and 3 week long tours and all that. Now we don't have that anymore. But it teaches you to be a hard worker first and foremost, to always say yes to everything. It teaches you to, whether you're throwing up, whether you're sick, whether you're dying, whether you have a leg or not, you go out there and you perform to the best of your abilities. Yeah, and you learn how to public speak, of course. That's really important as well. You learn to appreciate the highs and the lows, because there's not a professional wrestler in this world, or maybe in Hollywood as well, that you're here, but then you're also here. You can't be always here or there. You can't be always high or low. So you got to appreciate all these moments and ride the wave. And that's what I learned, ride the wave.
I've watched, you actually turned me on to the show Wrestlers on Netflix. Have you seen it? The docudrama that chronicles the lives of these aspiring wrestlers in Al Snow's league. And you watch that, and it's so startling, because if you set out to be a pro wrestler, you become Axl Rose or you become a karaoke singer singing November Rain at a local bar. And there's really no in between. You either become, at the absolute pinnacle of this industry, or you're on the docudrama Wrestlers on Netflix. And to go on that journey, not knowing what the outcome is going to be, and how much you have to invest in yourself and believe in yourself to get there.
Right.
And then you get there, and you're at the height of it, and then it gets taken away from you,
right,
to some degree, which happened to you initially when you got let go.
Well, for me, it was really, my career is just my whole wrestling journey has been so interesting. I was a fan as a kid, right? And there's no wrestling in Bulgaria. I didn't even know there was professional wrestling anywhere but America. And I was really wrong, because in Europe and in Japan and all that, it's really popular, but I had no idea. I thought WWE was the only thing. But when I came to America, I wanted to be a professional wrestler, of course, but it's not like you know how to do that. But eventually when I found a school, it wasn't like, hey, I want to find a school to make it to WWE. I was so fascinated by the craft, by what they're doing, that I just wanted to know how they freaking do that, right? It's not like, oh, I want to go there and do it with them. I just wanted to learn how they do it and why is it so cool. And it remained the same way for maybe 2 or 3, maybe 2 years. Because after the first backyard school with Rick Drazen, I moved with Rikishi to Knox Pro. With Rikishi, Black Pro, Gangrel opened the school. And it wasn't maybe until a year later in my training where they pull me in the office and say, hey, you may have an opportunity to go to either TNA or WWE. I'm like, get the out of here. Like, what are you even talking about? These guys are gods. They're on TV. I see them. They're 7 feet tall, 400 pounds jacked. And I am 24-year-old Bulgarian that, I mean, I've been training for a year and a half. That's just, I didn't think that was realistic at all. But then eventually, you know, after 6 more months, Rikishi fan, you know, got me a tryout at 2010 SummerSlam in Los Angeles. And they liked me, they signed me, they gave me a contract. And there was 2010, that's 2 years in my training. So I was really green. I had no idea. And all of a sudden, I find myself in developmental with WWE, green as a grass. I had no idea. And, you know, then broke my knee, broke my neck. That set me back a little bit. But then in developmental, I spent like a year and a half probably at most, and then made it to the main roster. So my career like really fast kind of like took off.
What was your gimmick when you first started before WWE?
I was just a Bulgarian bad guy.
You were basically Meadow, is what you were. You were Meadow.
I was a Bulgarian bad guy, but that's what you are, and I think more people should do not should do that, but they should just see who they are and do that instead of I want to play a professional wrestler. What can I be? No, just you got to find who you are, because if your character in the ring, it's closer to the one that you're outside. It's so much easier. You don't have to think twice, or you don't have to be like, okay, I gotta be mean here, I gotta smile here. No, you just who you are, just amplified by 1,000, I would say, and be very mean and aggressive and kick people's asses. And that's how it works. But it doesn't work if you're this guy, then you're trying to pretend to be somewhere else, something else. I think that doesn't usually work.
Well,
out.
I think there's this tendency to see what's worked in the past, you know, to see a certain archetype and say, oh, if I want to be successful, I have to embody this archetype, or I have to mirror this archetype. But if you think of truly who have been the most successful performers throughout history, it's the ones who are wholly unique.
Yeah.
Who, as you're saying, create that authentic gimmick.
Right.
You know, the Stone Colds, the Rocks, the Rusevs. Right. You find a way to embody who you truly are and imbue that into your character. Yeah. And that's what it seems like really resonates with the audience.
And you see this not just in professional wrestling, but also in movies, is where people get lost in a character, and you know, and you pay the price for it, because you see it with not all these actors, but actors who have to play a certain kind of role that they're down on themselves or whatever, and you get in that mood, and that takes a toll on you. That sticks for you for a long time. So like imagine that in a professional wrestling career, where your career is all your life. It's not that you shoot a movie in 6 months and you're done with a character. Like Hulk Hogan has to be Hulk Hogan all the time, and all these guys gotta be that. So if you start believing your crap, then you're gonna take that outside, and people are gonna see that. I'm like, who is this guy?
What's that called? Marking out for your own gimmick?
Yes.
How do you think your wrestling identity has evolved over the years?
First of all, it's so hard to find the identity, because that's also another challenge. Is you know, when you go to developmental like we are, it's like, hey, who you are, and you're like, I am Miro from Bulgaria. I came to be a professional wrestler. But that doesn't work out for anybody, brother. You need to find something more entertaining, right? You need to find that character that's going to draw these people, the eyes, the money, and everything like that. So first of all, that's a whole challenge, because that took me a while. It took me, you know, first because I went with one character, just like I said, the foreigner, Bulgarian, whatever. And I was like, what am I going to do? So I started going watching all my favorite bad guys from like Kickboxer, Bloodsport from the 80s. And all these, that's how I started drawing inspiration for my character. Okay, what if I take this guy from this? What if I take this from that? And, you know, that's how you start building. And now you're mixing it all up. And it becomes what it becomes. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. For me, it worked, clearly. So that's a whole nother challenge, to find that. But then now you got to find that, and you got to turn it on and off, because you can't be always this thing.
But you are some version of that.
Well, you have, and that's what I'm saying. That's why it's helping you if you find something that's closer to you. Yeah. Like I can be this mean, nasty guy if I want to be, right? And now watching these guys and add it into my in-ring ability and my in-ring persona, it's a lot closer to me than trying to be like, hey, I'm gonna pretend to be clown, and look at me, I'm gonna be like, ha 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 ha.
Yeah, I think that definitely like goes back to believing, like what we were talking about earlier, of just we want to believe that it's real, you know?
Well, yeah, of
And if
course.
if we don't believe that it's real, like no
But it
one
has to be
believes that
real.
I'm
It's
a
not about.
300-pound
It's not about you
Bulgarian.
have to believe. It has to be real. What you're
Yeah.
doing in that ring, it has to
Yes.
be real.
Yes.
Like you have to see who's in front of you, and have.
It has to be truthful. An acting teacher once told us that great acting is finding that version of ourselves. So it has to be truthful, just like Brad Pitt said on the armchair.
Right. It's true, but when how I find trying to get mad, like I'm really trying to get mad, like right now I gotta think of something that gets me mad, and trying to get there to be mad and then remember 75,000 words. It's just
It's funny because the audience will see you thinking too.
Like
Like if
trying
you're
to get me a
thinking,
memory of like something about my mom and who gets me mad. And I told that story. I was security back in the day in Bulgaria, and a guy cursed my mom, and that's the thing that I hate the most. And I chased this cab and I beat the guy up. So the guy was trying to like get me to relive the situation.
As you said, this 300-pound heel who's destructive and
Right.
will leave only destruction in his path. And so it doesn't really give you the chance to play with that range you have as an actor,
Right.
which what I'm looking forward to as your character evolves now that you're back, seeing those aspects of you.
In my mind, professional wrestling, professional wrestling, not just about a match. Like A, B, go and do that. I mean, monkeys can do that. It's the storyline that drives behind it. Why do you want to fight this guy? What do you try to prove, right? Like with Sheamus right now, you left me to hang back in the day when I needed you. Like you just let me to get fired. You didn't help me. And you're doing this with everybody. You have no friends. You stab everybody in the back. The only guy that survives being around you is you. And that's the main story that goes now with me and Sheamus. But with the God story was, hey, we have nothing. How do we connect this thing? Who do I cut a promo? Because I don't know who I'm going to be working. So we created the God, character. And we started cutting promo on God. Hey, God, it's your fault, or I'm your favorite champion, and I'm this and I'm that. So they can get us 2 weeks until they decide who am I going to fight next.
People don't probably know this about either of you. Maybe they know this more about you, CJ, but I mean, Miro, you're a writer. I mean, I've read entire feature film scripts that you've written. You're laughing. I don't know why you're laughing. It's true.
Dark
Force. I mean, we've sat there for hours and talked through creative concepts in movies.
Yeah.
I know you have a new special you're pitching set against the backdrop of the WWE. And
a musical.
In hearing you talk about your character and how even if, the macro storytelling isn't there, you're finding backstory. You're finding connective tissue between who you were as a character in WWE before and who you are now. You're connecting the dots between your and Sheamus's history and who he is as a character. And you're creating this sort of 4-dimensional world for how you represent yourself. And I think there's no surprise you're as over as you are in this world. But also it's like, and we've talked about this, why are John Cena and The Rock two of the biggest actors in the world? I mean, they're phenomenal actors and they're super charismatic, but actors just don't look like them, right? There's no actors who look physically like these guys look. And there's very few people in the world who look like you look physically.
Yeah.
And so you could just rest on your physical laurels, if you will, and just be that Bulgarian brute. But it's not enough for you as an artist and as a creative and as a storyteller. And I think that's a really phenomenal thing as an audience member and a lifelong fan, not just a friend of yours, that I truly appreciate.
Thank you. Thank you so much. You're very kind. And that goes back to the whole thing with the body, right? Like you can just rest and be like, hey, I look good enough. Or you can just keep going and trying to make it better and better and better and better. And that's how you as a person get better, right? You can read one book and be like, hey, I read one book. I'm a well-read person. But like CJ wants to do is you want to get better, improve yourself as a person. And how do you do that? You just don't sit around and be like, okay, get better, get better, get better, get better, right? You just got to find the tools to get better.
Yeah.
And I think when there's a will, there's a way. And you just go out there and find it. Whether it's going to be not eating, whether it's going to be diet, whether it's going to be writing, whether it's going to be reading, whether it's going to be an acting class or whatever that is, you go out there and just do it. Because we live in a freaking America, bro. Like we don't live in some God-forgotten country. Like we have all the tools here. We have everything available. And that's why I'm so grateful to be in this country and to be an American. And I'm proud to be an American.
I want to say something about CJ really quickly, but just to touch on that, what inspires me about the immigrant story. I mean, so almost virtually every person who's immigrated to America I've ever met sees in that what that beautiful experiment is or can be, and sees America as the true embodiment of exploring their potential. And I think that is often overshadowed in the conversation about who comes to this country and why. It's like I've never met somebody personally who comes here because they don't absolutely love what this country can be at its best. And hearing you say, and I've heard that story from you before, it's very inspiring.
I've always been big fan of America. Maybe I was a kid, you know, the propaganda got me, or the movies, or Hogan with a flag, whatever it was.
It was Jean-Claude Van Damme, don't lie. I know. And he's not even American. Mike Weeks not originally American.
But yeah, man, it's just the land of opportunity, you know, back just for everybody. I feel like in my mind, everybody wants to be in America. It was just growing up in Bulgaria. America was like such a far land. It's like almost talking about going to Mars, that type of thing. Especially, you know, Bulgaria being a communist country back in the day, former Soviet Union. Not part of the Soviet Union, but a satellite country. And that's why it just hurts me sometimes when people talk all that crap about America, but you haven't even been here. You haven't experienced it. You haven't experienced the people. Like people in Bulgaria think that, oh, Americans are like robots. They just work and go home, and they all fake smile. But yeah, man, but I'd rather you smile to my face than turn and not smile than just in Bulgaria, everybody goes, what are you looking at? What are you looking at? Who the fuck wants to live like that?
Well, when you're mayor of...
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to it.
Oh, yeah.
But really quick, what I want to say to CJ, though, too, nobody works harder behind the scenes than CJ.
Oh, my God.
And I know, like, she's your on-screen, or has been your on-screen manager. But, like, I got to hear from her.
On-screen and off-screen,
right,
too.
I mean, right? I mean, like, I got 7 missed calls in the span of 17 seconds from CJ yesterday. And then I called her back and she missed the call. And I'm like, what happened? And she gave me 15 things she did between call number 7 and call number 8.
Yeah.
I mean, like, what is your day? I mean, how many hours do you work in a 24-hour day?
29?
Yeah, 29.
Yeah. I think this past year, actually, after Miro served divorce papers to me.
Which was not on her birthday. That's her storyline.
Wait, time out. Before is the divorce was it a work?
No. What, do you think it was a work?
I'm not sure CJ knows, actually.
I can't.
She still lives in the...
You know, it's interesting because when I think back he served divorce papers on my birthday.
It was not... She's taking the CM Punk storyline.
And no, this is
This is pipe bomb. Let's go. This is CJ's pipe bomb.
This is not true though.
This is shoot.
Her birthday's in March 23rd, 1995.
Listen. I'm gonna have to say, as the mediator here and as your close friend and now relationship counselor, we're gonna have to give she has the talking dog. She has Pickles the talking dog.
I have Pickles to ground me, you know, from my therapist.
So she gets to go.
Leave her alone. You're terrorizing her.
She gets to go, Miro, uninterrupted.
Okay, in 3, 2, go.
She needs to tell her story.
So,
which was not on her birthday. I just want to say that it was not on her birthday.
Okay, CJ, tell me what Miro did to you.
So
on your birthday,
he tried to overnight the divorce papers. I'm not even kidding. I literally
to make sure they get there
yes,
on the birthday.
Yes, because he thought I was filing it too. So he was filing.
I call FedEx. I'm like, hey, I know you guys are off, but can you send the extra guy right now? I know she's there. Please do it. Tomorrow's your birthday, for God's sakes.
I'm not gonna.
Miro, she has the talking dog.
I'm not gonna give all the information of how I actually have proof of this, email
No,
proof.
we want the information.
Okay, so it just happens to be that we share the same computer and his email happened to be up and the...
This seems pretty this seems hard to dispute, Miro. I'm just gonna say, I want to be I want to be impartial here.
Her password was open. His password was written down.
So I see that it's the attorney. Like this is, you know, like the attorney that the divorce attorney that he had. That had contacted me, and I see March 22nd, the attorney had responded to him, like asked him something, and he's like, okay, let me try to overnight it so I can beat her to the punch. And it was, I swear. And I was reading this, I was like, he wants to beat me to the punch for this is our marriage, you know? So like, so I think like the answer.
Wait, was it like in the movies though?
It felt like in the movies.
Really?
That's why I created like, maybe this is a work shoot. Because I'm like, are you writing a storyline as we speak? Is this method acting?
What punch were you beating her to?
I have no idea.
Well, you said it in the email.
Maybe a right hook. I don't know.
I would not want to get a right. I would not want to get a right hook from the ravishing Russian.
Nobody does.
Did you date in your breakup?
I went on a few dates, yeah.
How
But
did
it's
that
not
go?
for.
How did that go for you?
I just wanted some conversations. I just wanted to, because I'm with her. I've never even talked to a woman. Like honestly, like because I'm a respectful husband. I don't do that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to see what kind of a conversation can I have with the other female. It doesn't have to be sleeping, or it doesn't have. You just want to see a conversation. Yeah, it was interesting to see. The age gap when you go with a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old with a 40-year-old. What the difference is?
Ooh.
20.
Tell us the
I
three
wouldn't
different.
say 20. 20 was too early.
Yeah, that's
So wait, how many girls are we talking? How many dates?
Like 2 or 3 maybe.
two or three.
So I would guess 2 or 3 is more like 5 or 6. That's
Yeah.
my guess.
No,
For
and
sure.
it's not even like people who I was interested in. It's like when with like a classmate or a friend from back in the day, which I wouldn't have done if CJ was there. But they happen to be girls. They happen to be friends. They're not like my girlfriends. I didn't want to go and have sex with them. I just wanted to have a conversation. That's all it was.
I actually didn't realize till just this moment we're talking about Bulgaria.
Yeah.
So if you go to Bulgaria, you are, and I'm not saying this with exaggeration, one of the most famous people ever to come from Bulgaria.
Stop
True or
it.
false? Is that true or false? You are
I
one
can't
of the
say
most
that.
famous people
I
ever
can't
in
say
Bulgaria.
that.
Certainly today, you're one of the most famous athletes. You are the most famous professional wrestler.
If I wanted to, I could have gotten juicy dates, but that's not what I wanted to do.
Well, I am sad to say this, but I think our first
That's
interview
it?
is coming to an end.
It was all about my marriage.
There's a lot of it.
What about my movie, Guns Up?
Okay, so Guns Up with Kevin James, and Kevin James was obsessed with you. He loved you. Like literally, I met Kevin James, and Kevin James gives me a big hug. I was like, oh my God, this is Kevin James. And he's like, I love your husband. He is the best. He's like, I love fighting him. He is so good. Like, tell us a little bit about it.
But this was just fun because it was action. We were just throwing each other through the tables, fighting, shooting, bleeding. So much fun. Please watch it. You're going to enjoy the movie. He's so good. It's so much action comedy. Those are my favorite movies. The one that can make you, when there's action, exciting, and they make you laugh and relax. Those are my favorite ones.
Oh my God, I made the trailer. I was screaming, I'm an assassin, which I love, and a lot of tattoos too. And Christina Ricci, huge fan of her. She's in it too. And actually, Edward Drake is directing it.
Yes, that Drake. Thank you for booking me.
Yes, thank you so much. Edward Drake also directed Cosmic Sin, which was one of your movies.
Correct.
And also thank you, Johnny, for pitching us to Jeffrey.
That was, we spend a
get
lot of
booked.
our time joking and plotting, and I think this podcast is a really funny example of that, something that's been in the works for many, many years. But I think together, collectively, we've been able to have some really amazing experiences and accomplish some pretty cool things.
Yeah.
And I can say I've seen a lot of the footage of the movie. You're both incredible actors. You couldn't literally pay stunt people to be as good as you are because it's what you do for a living. And the way you look on camera, you're both incredibly charismatic. I have no doubt both of you will be massive stars. You already are. But it's cool to see this transition, especially now that you're live on Netflix in front of hundreds of millions of people.
Lionheart, we have that in the works.
Dark Force.
The Lionheart. If you guys haven't seen the original, you got to go back, watch the original with Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then Johnny here rewrote for a whole new one.
Yeah, I wrote a version of the script. I was hired to write a version of the script. And it's, in fact, how I became friends with you.
That's right.
I told your wife I need to meet him, so she got me backstage at an AEW show. I felt like it was like a Make-A-Wish. I was sitting there with like my little script wanting you to sign it. And I saw you walk by and I tapped you on the shoulder and you were very standoffish at first because you didn't know who I was. And I had to mention CJ and mention who I was. And then you I got that big, beautiful smile
You
of
had
yours.
to butter me up a little
And you
bit.
warmed up and gave me a hug, and we've been such good friends ever since. And
well, because people come all the time, and you gotta filter them out. You can't just, be open to everybody. You gotta find out who's who first.
yeah, makes sense.
Well, please go buy the shirt, Rusev,
Oh wait, I got a shirt for Johnny here.
Oh, from me?
on WWE
It
Shop.
better be extra, extra, extra large.
It's some extras. Pickles?
Yes.
This-
So make sure you get your shirt, Rusev shirt on WWE
nice.
Shop.
Look at that. It's a little wrinkled. I'm sorry, but
That's okay. I'll take it.
A lot of, as well
it's
as
a good shirt.
Oh, it's a great shirt.
Wait, I gotta stand up a
So
little.
definitely get it. And as
And if
well,
you guys come on a podcast, bring your dog. Don't be afraid.
yes. Do you want to plug in your socials?
Because this is Pickles. She's a Tika Pomeranian. She came from Thailand, flew, landed, and CJ dumped her in the pool.
Wow.
And then she jumped after her, saved her, brought her to me, and we're best friends ever since. That's the story of my life.
Where can they follow you?
On your podcast.
Oh my God.
And to be Miro.
To be Miro on Instagram, Twitter,
It's X.
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 And what are you, Twitch, YouTube?
I don't Twitch. I don't YouTube. I did that thing maybe when the time is right. I'll be mayor one day. But yeah, follow my political career, please, in Bulgaria, when the time is right.
When you
Plug
actually
it.
run for mayor, we're going to have you back on.
That's not
Hell
going to be
yeah.
for a while. I still got WWE contracts.
Oh, see, CJ, he already wants to come back on sooner.
Of course I want to come back. I'll be maybe part of the show. I'll be sitting over there in Gorilla and I'll be like, hey, say this.
This segment is called, just for the people in the booth, CJ put you over. So put you over is a wrestling term when you make somebody look good, right? So, and CJ put you over. We're going to explore something in the world of professional wrestling that she wants to put over. And at times we may tag in Lana, who will crush.
We always love a little good Lana crush.
So what do you want to, in the world of professional wrestling, what excites you right now? What do you want to put over?
Mercedes Moné and also Natty, but both of them have been like taking the wrestling world by storm. The number one thing that it takes to be successful is hustle. And
The brass ring, grabbing the brass ring.
literally grabbing the diamond ring. And that's exactly what Mercedes is doing. So I remember,
Tell me what she's doing, because I'm not, it's not in my algorithm. What is Mercedes doing?
okay, so this woman she blows my mind. So she literally showed up in Poland and Austria. No one knew she was going to show up in a little venue, a little wrestling ring venue, to show up out of the blue, fight people for the championships, and she's collecting world titles around the world. So her Instagram literally has it hanging with all, like, I don't even know how many championships.
WrestleMania 37 headliner,
Yes.
Sasha Banks,
Yes,
is
yes.
going to small remote cities around the world and fighting the regional world champions.
Yes,
So
yes.
she can collect, quote unquote, collect belts.
We have to invest in ourselves. So Natty and I talk about this all the time. Like, if we can't invest, if we don't believe that we're worth it and putting money back into our career and our brand, then why would any studio or wrestling company or magazine or brand decide we are worth them putting money into us? And so I think that's what Mercedes is doing, and also what Natty is doing, is that they are betting on themselves.
Wait, so what's Natty's gimmick, if I understand this, is she's also competing at these sort of smaller provincial events.
Yes.
And she's created this whole new sort of gimmick around that, right? What is it?
Yeah, and she's in WWE. So not only is she been wrestling for over 20 years, and she's grown up as a heart in this business her whole
She's like
entire
the
life.
longest standing female wrestler, right?
Yes, longest standing professional female wrestler, has had the most matches in WWE of all time out of women, has had the most pay-per-views out of all women of all time. I think even the most wins, I believe. At one point, she was the longest Iron Woman in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. I think Liv usurped her. San Antonio.
My girl, yes, period. So I love that both my best friends are just killing it. So yeah, it's betting on yourself. And Mercedes was always that. I'll never forget. And I find this woman so inspiring, because in 2013, when we started wrestling at NXT, like, she was already there. She had just started. And she's like, I'm at a main event. And I'm like, women are having 2-minute matches. Good luck, you know? And when her and Bailey and Charlotte and Becky, they're like, we're going to change the business for women's wrestling. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think it was possible. I didn't say that because I didn't want to, you know, be any person that crushes people's dreams or doesn't believe in their dreams. But I'm just like, the landscape isn't looking good for us. And that was a big other part why I decided I'm going to focus on being great on the mic, you know, because my age and my experience as well as the time. You know, I was looking at Stephanie and Vicky and AJ Lee. They were having a lot more mic time because they were in boys' storylines than the women. So I was like, and I think it definitely there was no one else doing that at the time. So that really helped me. But I was blown away a year later in 2015. The women's evolution started, and those 3 women came up. Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky. Bailey came up a year later, and
the 4 horsewomen.
They were the 4 horsewomen, but Bailey stayed down in NXT for another year being champion, and that was like one of the most epic babyface NXT championship runs.
I have a grievance with Bailey.
A grievance?
Yeah.
I love Bailey. What's up?
Not a personal grievance.
Okay, a character
I think
grievance.
her finishing maneuver is lame.
Oh, God.
Bailey to belly suplex, come on. She deserves a better finisher. I'm sorry.
You want to direct the promo to her right now?
No, listen. Who am I to judge?
Right. She might show up and just body slam you right now. Sasha was Mercedes, definitely bet on herself. She went to New Japan, had one of the greatest media promotional rollouts that I've ever seen New Japan do. I literally was showing Miro. I was like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need to do. This girl knows how to get people to care. Because who's watching New Japan? The super fans are, right? The hardcore fans are. Not the casual follower that follows Sasha Banks from Star Wars. They're not necessarily watching New Japan. But now she is promoting it so incredibly on Instagram, on Twitter, on all social media accounts, on YouTube, that all these casual fans or fans of Sasha now is interested in New Japan, is interested in AEW, is interested in her Poland and Austria matches. And she's really changing the business, her and Natty. And I just want to give them their flowers.